Hello, everyone. My name is Robert Johnson, and I'm welcoming you to the first show for Leading Well with Robert Johnson. And my first guest that we have here with us today is Marjé Etheridge from she's the executive director of the Atlanta Wealth Society. Here at Lead Well with Robert Johnson, the show is all about taking the opportunity to highlight and showcase individuals who are leading well, inspiring others, transforming the lives of individuals, and taking an opportunity to do everything that they can to try to improve our society. So we have a great opportunity today to hear directly from Marjé, who has flown in from Atlanta and to talk to us about some exciting projects that she's working on. But first, I would also like to thank Meet Advisors for allowing us to have this opportunity. So welcome, Marjé. How are you?
I'm fantastic. Thank you for having me.
So tell us, what brings you to Chicago?
Well, let me first say my mother named me Marjorie, but I'm also known as Marjé.
Oh, okay.
Have to bring that out. Most people know me as Marjé.
Okay.
So I'm actually I was born in Chicago. I was born in Chicago, raised in St. Louis, been in Atlanta for 25 years. And for all that time that I've been in Atlanta, I did not know that Martin Luther King Jr. had a baby brother. Just discovered it, went to London in February, met Mrs. Naomi King in London while she lives in Atlanta, and found out that Martin had a brother, and started working with Mrs. Naomi King to help her tell her story, and also to let the world know about A.D. King's legacy. We decided to kick that adventure off here in Chicago.
That's outstanding. So, what is it that you guys hope to accomplish with the A.D. King Foundation? I mean, what are some of your overarching goals?
Well, we are very interested in empowering young people, not only to help them to dream, but to help them live those dreams. While Martin Luther King, his I Have a Dream is important, but it's also important to provide the youth with the tools to live those dreams.
Outstanding. Now, you've been involved in a number of projects, not just the A.D. King Foundation, but give our audience and our viewers some more insight into who you are as an individual, not just as it relates to this particular project that you're working on, but like I said, there's a multitude of things that you've been involved in to help transform individuals' lives.
Okay. Yes. Well, in 1996, my brother, he was murdered. He was in a gang, and 2 days. It was his birthday was on one day, and 2 days later, after he turned 21, he was murdered in St. Louis, not far from Ferguson, Missouri. And at that moment, during that time, I decided to what really, I had that question, what really happened to my brother? And I looked at the music he listened to, or I listened to the music he listened to, and watched some of the videos that he watched in movies, and 90% of it had some violent content. And so I decided not to attack the current media system, but to create new media. So I decided to become a film producer. I started writing poetry, singing, and writing books, and finding ways that to help kids think critically about what they do. And I felt media is a great way to do that. So that's been part of my journey, is to understand media better and to create content that will inspire, educate, empower, and to help young people think more critically about what they do.
That's amazing. That's outstanding. As we've talked, I know that you have a passion for kids, just as you just articulated. There's a particular project, the Backpack program, that you're working on. Can you talk to us a little bit about that?
Yes. So I met a wonderful gentleman named Dr. Neil Schulman, and he's written a book called The Corporate Kid. And the story is pretty amazing. It's really a story that says it's this young kid who meets a young kid from an urban community that meets a CEO, and they end up bonding. And so I decided to take that story and turn it into a marketing campaign called Backsack, which is an acronym for Be a Corporate Kid, Support a Corporate Kid. And so I've also asked Mr. Robert Johnson to be one of our CEOs. So it's a great opportunity for kids to partner with CEOs, because a lot of the kids think that hip hop music and becoming a basketball player or a football player, that's the main goal for a lot of our young people. But we want to expose them to other career paths. And I think that if you make them aware of other opportunities through meeting CEOs like yourself and other CEOs, then perhaps their dream gets bigger. It helps them to dream bigger, and that awareness is key.
How can other CEOs or folks that are just interested in being a part of the BACSAC program, how can they contribute either their time or their talent or their treasure? I'm sure we would like some of that as well.
Yeah.
Let the viewers know how they might be able to reach out to you to be able to participate in this project.
Well, they can contact us. My email, should I get my email?
Sure, absolutely.
My email address is mcetheridge@gmail.com. mcetheridge@gmail.com. I can send you some information.
Great. Now, in addition to the BACSAC project, you've also been involved really on a global scale to deal with some of the also more pressing issues around human trafficking.
Right.
Can you talk to us about your efforts in that regard and kind of how you came to that as well?
Well, I have two daughters, 14 and 15. When I started the fight against sex trafficking, they were 14 and 15. Now they're 20 and 21. And Atlanta is one of the top cities with the problem of child sex trafficking, as well as women being trafficked. And my question when I heard about it, what can I do? I didn't necessarily know, and I've been in marketing as well as a career. And I tried to galvanize as many of the people in the communities and in Atlanta that I knew. And sometimes when you talk about an issue like sex trafficking, it's so horrific that we can't really get our minds around it, our arms around it. And so people shy away, not because they don't care, it's just they don't know exactly how they fit in. So I decided to do a movie, and okay, I'm going to tell a story and not only use the movie to bring awareness and tell some of the stories that are actually from some of those that have survived the horrific crime of sex trafficking. That will bring people into an awareness, but also wanting to create sustainable living solutions. So once they're free, then what?
Right.
Help them. And one of the things that we're doing is providing aquaponic gardens for those that have come out of sex trafficking.
Now, what's the name of the film?
Well, it's the website is Field of Hearts, so it'll be a series of stories. Right now, we have over 112 stories of women that have survived sex trafficking. So it's called Field of Hearts. I took the name from Hartsville, actually, because Hartsville International is one of the places that they are being transported. A lot of the victims. It's unfortunate. I hate to say anything really negative about our airport. It's a wonderful airport,
right,
but that's really the reality.
Yeah. And again, how can folks get more involved in that project or find out more information?
www.fieldofhearts.org.
Okay. Well, again, Marjé, you are true inspiration.
Thank you.
We really are pleased and honored to have you as our first guest. You really are leading well and inspiring others and transforming the lives of others. So one last question. Where do you get the drive and the passion to be able to do all of these amazing things?
Well, I am a Christian. I love God. I have a relationship with Him. I'm not just a churchgoer or a religious person. I think having that personal relationship with the Lord makes a difference. So being able to just stay in prayer, have that time in meditation, stay focused, really allow Him to direct my path is key. And love, I think, the key, like Mrs. King, she's always talking about love and forgiveness.
Sure.
Even how my brother was murdered and how her husband, as she says, was murdered. That forgiveness, no matter what, is a very powerful weapon. I call it a weapon. Love is a weapon, and forgiveness is also a weapon that gives you that strength and power to continue to do good.
Absolutely.
To do what's right.
Absolutely. Again, marvelous. Well, again, that's all we have time for. Again, I'm Robert Johnson, and thank you for joining us for Lead Well with Robert Johnson. I'm the managing director of the Solomon Group, where we provide practical solutions to complex problems. Thank you, and again, thank Meet Advisors for the opportunity to share a moment of time with this wonderful individual. Marjé, thank you.
Thank you, Robert. Appreciate you.